episode 2981 of the number one podcast and Apple podcast for job search. You're listening to or watching No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to Thursday. And I decided for today and tomorrow I'm going to do two slightly longer shows. I'll call them Career Coach Office Hours from the Archives. These are examples of what I do on Tuesdays, but from several years ago. And I'll put the questions I cover in the show notes so you have an idea of what you're going to be watching or listening to. Hope you find this helpful. And again, if you like this format, join me on Tuesdays at noon Eastern on either YouTube or on LinkedIn. Look for Career Coach Office Hours and the date, and you'll find the show. If you can't attend live, mark that you'll attend, and then send your questions to me through LinkedIn. My page there, my URL is linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. And I'll cover your questions in that week's show. And I'll be back in just one moment. Hi, it's Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to another episode of Career Coach Office Hours. I spend time on Friday mornings talking about some of the questions or answering some of the questions I've received from people over the course of the week that I didn't have a chance to respond to earlier. I don't want them going out over a weekend. I just want to make sure stuff gets handled. So if this was one of your questions, I'll try and forward it to you so that in this way you've got your answer. And it's going to benefit some other people too. So this week, oh, by the way, if you have a question for me, email it to me at thebiggamehunter@gmail.com. In the subject line, put the words office hours or career coach office hours, something. So I know that this is for that purpose, that you have a question that needs to be answered. I don't want to be opening lots of messages in order to discover that there's an issue that someone wants support with. I want you to make it easy for me. I work hard. I'm trying hard. I'm coaching people. I'm creating content. I'm doing a lot of stuff. So help me. Make it easy for me to help you, okay? So with that, I've got 5 questions this week. And the first one is, when a recruiter or interviewer asks you why you want to leave your job, what is the best answer? I usually say, I've been in the same industry for a while and I'd like to make a change. But what is a good answer? Excuse me, I had Dragon on and it's starting to transcribe things. So the best answer is the truth. Now, when I see people wanting to know the best answer, I tend to think of you're trying to be pleasing or accommodating and you're willing to say anything, but it's not honest. And you may wind up in a situation where you get an offer for a job you really don't want. So, you can talk about, I feel stuck where I am. I do a great job, and as a result, they're keeping me doing the same job. It's been 2 years now, and they just want me to keep doing the same job. Or I'd like to learn something a little bit different. I don't mind bringing my skills, talent, and experience to another role, but I want to feel like there's an upside to me here. So I'm looking for an opportunity where I can bring my current experience and upskill it at another organization. These are all valid reasons. You can also talk about, I'm being asked to work 90 hours a week. I've got a young child at home and, I'd like to see them, not just simply pay for the therapy sessions afterwards because I was never there. So, be honest when you answer questions, but do it in a way where they get it without it making it seem like you're an angry, disgruntled employee and they're going to be hiring an angry person. Put a smile on your face as you talk and say, hey, look, I've been with this firm now for 2 years. I've generally liked it. However, I'm looking for an opportunity where I can learn and grow. Their thinking is they've solved the problem and I'm going to be stuck doing this for the next 3 years. I don't want to do that. I want to learn and grow. and get ahead and move up and learn new things. And that's not going to be available to me because I've done too good a job. So that becomes a way of answering that question. What should I put in the subject line of an email while applying for a job is the second question. Well, two types of answers. One is for the situation where you're applying cold, and the second one is for the situation where you're referred by someone. When you're applying cold, you want to have some reference to the job that you're applying for. So if you saw something on a job board or a job ad of some sort, and it had a title, put the title there. So if it's accountant level 13 or software developer grade 17, put that in the subject line. And then the body, of course, you make a case for your candidacy. If you're referred by someone, the subject lines should be, I'm referred to you by so-and-so. And the body, you would start off by saying, and you use their name, told me that you were trying to fill a position for such and such. I'm attaching a copy of my resume. I believe I would be a good fit. Based upon what I was told, this is how my background matches up. And you just summarize what you were told and how your background matches, but the subject line talks about being referred. Question number 3 is a little confusing to me, but it reads, renegotiation is possible, but shall I wait to see the agreement based upon the first offer that I proposed and then renegotiate? I'm going to guess that they made an offer and you countered it, and you're wondering whether you should counter it again. The answer is no. What you should be doing is waiting for their first response. And if you haven't gotten it within a day or two, you message your contact there and say, I received your offer. Thank you. I responded with a proposal of my own, and I have yet to hear a response from you. Where do we stand? And that becomes a way that you open the door toward reminding them to respond. Yes, you wait. You wait for them to address your concerns, your offer, before offering up something new. Question number 4, can a recruiter ask a job candidate if he or she owns a car? Well, let me give you an example. You work in one city, you live in one city and there's a job 2 hours away. They're not paying for relocation, and the recruiter says, hey, do you have a car? Well, obviously, they want to know if you can get to work. Now, it's not about, it's not like someone's going to drive you every day to work, right? It's not like you're going to take an Uber to the office every day 2 hours away. They want to know if you can get there or if you're going to move. And in most places around the world, it's not like you can take mass transit to work. I know in New York you can. I know in certain cities you can. And in most of the country, you can't because you got to drive. They want to know if you can get to work. That's it. So yes, they can ask. And that's true of a third-party recruiter. It's also true of an employer's recruiter. Last question for today. A hiring manager contacted me soon after I sent a job application and wanted to do an interview that day via phone. He said the interview would last 15 to 30 minutes. What does it mean? It means that they want to interview you and they're telling you how long the interview is going to last. So you can figure out for yourself whether it's viable. Anything more than that is conjecture. They want to evaluate and assess you for your capabilities for doing this job. That's it. Everything else is speculation. Don't go down that road. They just want to interview you. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, visit JobSearch.Community. There's a lot more there that'll help you. In the meantime, I'll be back with more tomorrow. Have a terrific day and be great.